Don't never attach your value to money, because that shit run out. You could have a couple stacks and life will hit you. Now you gotta spend it, because life always gonna show you what you stacking money for. But now that you done spent it, you feel like you're worthless because you put your value into the money that you make. Your value lie in what you put out into the world. What do you produce for the economy? Your camp good, you taking care of your peoples, you valuable. That's where your value lie. Because can't nobody strip you what's up here. Like, you was young, you learned how to ride a bike. Now you can teach somebody else how to ride a bike. That's a stupid example, but that's value. That's what value is, you know? Like, you can teach somebody how to ride a bike. That's value. Damn, I'm sweating like a motherfucker. Your value lie up here and in here, not here.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I took a 50% pay cut, and this is what happened to my self-esteem. So straight out of college, I get hired at a Fortune 500 company, and they put me into a role that's like way beyond my current experience level. I'm making 6 figures a year straight out of college, way more than any of my friends. My family's giving me all this praise. The company is giving me these performance bonuses. And within a year, I'm in the 99th percentile of sales. But eventually I realized that I want to make a career change. So this opportunity arises to make a switch. I take it, and it's a 50% pay cut. And at the time, I'm like, oh, it's fine. Turns out it was not fine. The role itself, that was fine. It was the self-consciousness that I got hit with in regards to the money I was making. I felt inferior as a person. I actually felt like I had to hide what I was doing. Like the world would see me as someone that was less than. And eventually I uncovered a really hard truth, which was my self-worth was attached to my salary. For so long, I felt enough because I made a lot of money. My value as a person was intertwined with my paycheck. And when that number dropped, so did my confidence, my sense of identity, my belief in my own worth. But you know what was actually amazing about this experience? It forced me to confront this limiting belief that I had forever. I had to ask myself some really tough questions. Who am I without this impressive salary? What do I truly value? How can I define success in a way that aligns with who I am, not just how much I earn? And as I began to explore these questions, I started to detach my identity from the money. My value was not something that could be quantified in dollars. It was my character, my passions, the impact I made, how I built relationships. I discovered a sense of purpose, one that wasn't tied to all this external validation, but rooted in a deeper understanding of myself. And the crazy part is, since then, I've had so many fluctuations in the amount of money I've made. I even quit my job with no job and bought a one-way ticket to Peru and lived out of a backpack for a year. And I was genuinely happy because I know who I am. I know what I stand for, and that my sense of self is far greater than any amount of money.
You can't get to the level you actually want to get to in life because money is way too important to you. This goes for the middle class, the poor people, the rich people. You need to understand that money is 1000% a drug. It controls how you feel. You feel sad when you don't have a lot. You feel happy when you have a lot of it. You feel safe. People even change their life philosophy based on the money that they have at that moment. There are people on this planet who have never had more than 6 figures liquid in their bank account. Absolutely terrified to make any type of move that will get them to where they want to be. Take any kind of risk because they're so attached to this number. If money is affecting your mood, that's all the more reason why you don't deserve it in the first place. All the more reason why you deserve to lose it. You need to go through those lessons. You need to get it burned. You need to get it all back and go through that journey and go through the trials and tribulations in your brain and get it etched into you. No matter what happens to that number in that bank account, you are still the same person, and it's always going to come back to that. I'll sum this up with a great example. Life is never about what you have right now. Many of you know the entrepreneur Alex Hormozy. He's made over $100 million. Now, what if he lost all of that today? He's at 0 right now. But you You won a lottery ticket and you have 20 million in your bank account, liquid. And you and Alex are speaking at a coffee shop about a business you're going to start together. Who do you think is going to be running that meeting? Who do you think has all the power in that conversation? It is Alex Hormozy, 1,000,000%. Even if he's negative 500,000 in his bank account, the lessons and the experiences are still etched in him as a being. You're just some lottery ticket winner. His belief traits and characteristics are going to far outshine yours because you can never substitute experience and the lessons you learn gaining that experience and the freedom you have understanding that those experiences and those lessons will always be in your soul, no matter the money that's in your bank account. It is highly unlikely that you truly internalize those lessons until you've made money and lost it all and realize you are the same dude, whether you have it or not. Not only are you the exact same dude, but now you're just that much more invincible. You really got to understand me on this one.
I think a lot of us have become tired of capitalism and by default have misunderstood the purpose of money. I want to clear some things up. We all know money is not real. It's a symbol. Before we had money, we traded our ideas, our food, our labor for those things in return. What money is simply a standardized symbol of work given or product given or service given. You feel me? Money is not everything because money actually is nothing, as we know. Money is not what's controlling us. It's what money can give, what money can buy, what money can do. And I think we're at a point in society right now where we might not need money anymore. We might not need the concept of physical dollars. But let's not go too far, guys, because labor is necessary, productivity is necessary, society is necessary. We might not need it on the scale we have it. We might not want it in the way that it is occurring. And adaptation is possible and always necessary. If I'm understanding how I feel to be similar to how other people feel, it's not that I don't want to work and I don't want to be productive. I just don't want to do shit I don't want to do anymore. And I feel like it's time to how I feel about capitalism and how I feel about money and having to pay bills. But ultimately, I'm not saying that I don't want to pay bills and I don't care about money because I want to be lazy. It's because I just don't think that those things are valuable anymore. Certain jobs have no purpose. No offense, I've been there, but if your name has like coordinator in it, I'm probably not doing much. So I think that we need to remember money is a symbol. We do know this. Don't forget that. It's just a symbol. It doesn't mean anything, but it is showing when you give somebody a piece of the money, you're showing them that you have done something productive to get it and that your productivity will be now reciprocated in something that they have productive for you to buy. That's really all it's for. It is a trade system. And if we wanted to decide as a society to have a different trade system, I think it's more than possible. But, we have to do it together and we have to choose together because things have to be fair. People have to feel valued. And at least right now, currency is how everyone can hold the same values.
I can't believe that we're still believing in money. I can't believe that we're still running our whole lives based on this idea that we need to acquire this thing that has no intrinsic value. It's literally printed out of thin air. But we have to spend our whole lives working hard for it, exploiting ourselves, neglecting ourselves, lowering our vibration to struggle and compete against each other for this made up thing. And then we have to give you, the people who made it up, all of it. That makes no sense. Know that money has value because you can exchange things for money. But you can also do that with bartering. I just don't understand why we ever stopped bartering. I always thought bartering was a better system ever since I was a child. Yes, you can have a pound of my flour if I can have a pound of your sugar. Yes, I'll sew this little shirt together if you'll come and clean my kitchen. I don't think humans were ever meant to work like that for money. I think humans were meant to learn skills and apply them. And some of us have different skills than others. Some of us are creative, some of us are very mathematical, some of us are very scientific, some of us are more nurturing. Everybody has their own skills and their own things that they're good at, but they've forgotten how to do that because all they're focused on doing is like a simple repetitive task in order to acquire money that's going to help them live life, stay alive. It's made up, and it just doesn't make sense how we're still subscribing to this idea. And for the past couple days, my entire For You page has been conversations about 50-50 and who's the provider in the relationship and da-da-da, but nobody has stopped to ask the question, why are we competing against each other this hard to survive? It's not meant to be like that. And it doesn't make sense anymore, and everybody hates the system. Everybody hates it except the people who are benefiting from it, and the only reason why they're benefiting from it is because we haven't been mad enough yet. I've been following this guy on TikTok who has been exposing the financial industry for literally creating algorithms that the stock market uses to help your money that you put into stocks make them more money. Like significantly more money than you make. So they're telling you, give us the money that we printed out of thin air and we'll make you a little bit more money. But first, we're going to make ourselves way more money. And you've had us in a chokehold ever since. And I say us, even though I was born and raised in Canada, because it was really no different. There was a little bit more freedom, but more or less the same values, the same vibe. Work hard, stick to one thing, stick to that job, stay in school, do everything you're told. Meanwhile, they're doing whatever they want. Competition is overdone. I don't like it anymore. I think we need to stop competing. I hate the competition. I hate the competitive nature of everything. This is not our true nature. As humans, we're not meant to compete against each other. Hierarchy is made up. Money's made up. Racism is made up. Wake up, wake up.
Man, look, I'm talking to all my people that work a 9 to 5, man. Look, I'm currently working a little plant job or whatever. But the one thing about it is it's cool to work a little plant job. You know what I'm saying? But you can't let none of this stuff control your mind, gang. Like these folk think just because they got a higher position that they can control me. You can't control me, fool. The only person that can control me is the man above. That's it, that's all. You just got a higher position. Okay, do your job and I'm gonna do mine. But you demanding things and talking to me lesser than a human, it ain't gonna work. I ain't saying that nobody ever did, but I'm just saying if that happens, it's not gonna end good, because I'm the type of person, see, I done seen a lot of people get disrespected and they don't do nothing about it. Let somebody tell me or demand me to do something and talk to me less of a person. I'm gonna go out for real, like I don't care if he's 40, if he's been here for 30 years, I don't care about nothing. You as a human being should not let nobody else belittle you, bro. Especially if you know for a fact that you're bigger than them. And I'm talking about mindset-wise. I ain't talking about age-wise. You feel me? I done did so much stuff these people in here ain't never imagined. If I could show them my analytics, my followers, you know, just everything, just knowing that I got a real good support system, bro, they're gonna be like, why is you still here? Why is you still here, bro? To be honest, I don't know why I'm here, but I know I ain't gonna be here for too long, and that's facts.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
The second you begin to love yourself, that means you're putting value on yourself. Nothing else matters. Because if you consider that you're putting value on yourself based on how much money you have, that's not a good enough. Why? Because money comes and goes. When money leaves, that means your value is gone. If you put value on money, well, when money leaves, that means your value is gone, right? But loving yourself is internal. It cannot go away. It's all in your hands. If you love yourself 90%, that means you're putting 90% value on yourself. And people could read it. See, When you love yourself, it doesn't mean, I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm talking about taking care of yourself and taking care of others and loving others, you know, and being positive. That's a beautiful thing. Continue on that journey regardless of what outcome. You're always going to have better chances than bad chances.
All right, y'all. So we're going to talk about it. Main reason why we are not investing in ourselves, or we feel guilty or we feel ashamed about investing in ourselves and really like spending money on the things that are going to make us happy, is because we feel like we're not worth it. Think about it. You could spend a lot of money on a gift for a friend, but when it comes down to you, you start acting funny and feeling ashamed and feeling guilty because it's on yourself. Why do you feel like they deserve your hard-earned money more than you do? And understand that you are 100% worth the money that you work hard for. We are really quick to do for others before we do for ourselves. And that's a good thing. It's a good character trait to have. But at the same time, we can't feel guilty when it comes down to us. And this is something that's going to take practice. Trust me, I've been there. I've been exactly where you are. But the more you spend money on yourself, the easier it's going to get and the better you're going to feel about yourself. The more money that you invest in a certain thing, the more it's going to grow. So if you invest more money into yourself, you are only going to grow. Like, I had to figure this out for myself, and then I started teaching my clients this. And so yes, it does take practice. Yes, it's going to take time, but I promise, invest money into yourself. Spend that money on yourself, and the way that you feel about yourself and the way that you view yourself and what you think that you're worth is going to go up. I promise. It's not just, oh, I want to go shopping and da da da. No, like, it's actually changing the way that you perceive how you value yourself. Invest more money in yourself, because that's the best thing that I could have ever done. And it really helped me out a lot. So I'm passing this message along to you. You got this, girl. I want to see your budget with some shopping money planned out, okay? 2023, we're going to be investing in ourselves, period. And follow your girl at Green Line Planner, because I'm a budget coach. And I love to help you out.
I don't know if you saw Trial the Trainer's video here on TikTok. He spoke about being in prison for 6 years, coming out, moving in with his mum, working in the bar, making minimum wage, using the little money he had to buy gym equipment, training people in the laundry room, his mum threatening to kick him out because he wasn't paying her rent. Eventually, he did get kicked out. He moved into another building which had a gym. He got a celebrity client, and then life went up from there. He started making social media content, and it took off completely. But where the story really hit me was that he blew through over 200K very quickly, and he went to his bank account and he was pretty much broke again. Biggest wish for anybody who's in survival mode is for them to get out. But when you get out of survival mode, you've got to make sure that your mindset matches your money, that you are thinking about money in a different way. It's not something to be spent day to day to survive. It's something that has to be invested to grow. And if you want to check in with yourself and figure out what your mindset truly is about money, how you do that is checking what your mindset is about you. How do you see yourself? How do you view yourself? Because sometimes the misuse of funds or the misuse of opportunities comes from a low self-esteem or a low self-belief or a low self-image, a low self-identity. And once you work on that and you realize that, okay, I'm not in survival mode anymore. I want more for myself and I need to do different things to get that. And not just the outward things. I need to work on me on the inside. Because everything you do or you don't do, everything you have or you don't have, everything you will be or you will not be is flowing from your identity, from your self-esteem, from how you see yourself. So check in with you, not just once, not just twice, consistently. Keep checking in with yourself. The most painful thing for a human being to get to the end of their life and realize that it wasn't a lack of opportunities, or it wasn't having the right people around you, or it wasn't being in the right environments. It was you. That was the downfall of you all along.
One of the things that I have learned, and I am learning recently, is that people can have more than you in the monetary sense, right? And still be very jealous and envious of you. Because to a lot of people, to the people who really know, this right here, your soul, your heart, your moral compass, your integrity, all of the things is so much more important than some money. It really is. Money does not define people. Money does not hold value into how valuable a person is. It's truly who you are. Who are you as a person? Not what you can obtain, not your accolades. That doesn't define a person and who they are. And I really want people to really truly see, just because you don't have whatever, that won't make you more happy when you do get it. That won't make you a better person when you do get that. Who are you?
We think that the more you make, the more that you are worth. And that is absolutely not true. We put too much importance on how much a person earns. Way too much. There is more value in other things that have no price tag on it. There is much more value in that. And we as people have to start placing much more value on those things instead of money.
When we talk about self-sabotage, one topic that I don't see discussed enough is self-sabotaging with money, and how that act of self-sabotage is also somewhat an act of self-harm. Money is often seen as a sign of status, of you being worthy and good enough, but I've learned as I've gotten older that money is a tool. It's a resource for you to be okay, and then to also help other people be okay. And I think once you make that mindset shift, which I still struggle with every day, but I know other people struggle with it as well. Once you make that mindset shift, you realize that you either spending too much money or not allowing money to flow to you is self-sabotage, because you don't believe you are worthy of having the tools and resources to help yourself and help others. You might start believing that money is only for a certain type of person, someone who's better than you, or this ultimate being that's not you because you can never be that. Or you start seeing money as something that only bad or evil people can have, because in order to want that much or use it or whatever, you have to be bad or wrong, very antithetical to who you are, as a way to self-sabotage, to push it away. While the concept of money is a very nuanced topic and not something I want to get into really in this video, I do think it's important to start recognizing your habits when it comes to money and how you view it, because the narrative you have in your head about what money represents and how you want to use it or not use it, or what you're doing with it, or if you're pushing it away, reflects something about you and how you feel about yourself. Just like romantic relationships, money is another kind of relationship that shows you what you think about yourself and is a reflection of your identity and the way you want to show up in the world.
You can't get to the level you want to be at in life because money's too important to you. This goes for poor people, but especially the middle class. Money is 100% a drug. It controls your emotions and how you feel. When you don't have a lot, you feel sad. When you have a lot, you feel happy and feel safe. There are people who have never seen 6 figures in their bank account, absolutely terrified to make any kind of move or risk that will get them to where they want to be because they are too attached to the number. The longer you let money affect your mood, the longer you'll keep that distance between where you are now and where you want to be. You absolutely need to go through those lessons. For example, my company burned $25,000 on advertising before we actually got it right. You need to go on that journey. You need to go through those mental trials and tribulations in order to understand that no matter what happens to that number in the bank account, you're still the same person. I genuinely believe that you cannot internalize these lessons until you lose all that money, make it back, and then realize it's still me. Not only are you the same person, you're fucking bulletproof. You'll have so much confidence in yourself, and it's not because the number in your bank account, it's because you know that you'll keep standing no matter what.
One thing I cannot stand is an elitist MFer. I hate elitism. I do when, people just think that they're better just because they quote unquote have more money or whatever. I'm so glad that I come and been around all walks of life. I started from the bottom, so I'll never be an elitist. Those people that are elitists or think that they're better just because of their money or quote unquote their class or whatever, no, those are really people with low self-esteem, and the only thing that they have is their money or class or whatever to throw around. They have nothing else, to offer. But yeah, that's just, I'm just thinking of a situation that happened today that, someone didn't speak to me, which is cool, whatever, but it's that elitist mindset, thinking that you're better when you're not, and these elitists also, try to take little shots and all that, like, oh, okay, if that makes you feel better. But all right, bye y'all.
The amount of money that you have or earn does not determine your value. This was a mantra I used to have to repeat to myself constantly when I was actively trying to detach my self-worth from the amount of money I was making on a consistent or a monthly basis. And I really had to decide for myself that this belief system that I had around my self-worth equating to how much money I had needed to go. And the way that I did that is I found one thing in my life that I valued that had nothing to do with money. And that one thing was allocating time for myself. And when I say that, I mean making time to go for a walk or read a book that had nothing to do with like progress, just reading a book because I felt like reading it. So if you're struggling to detach your value from money, I suggest finding one thing that you have or see value in that has 111 on the timestamp, that has nothing to do or any association to money. Let me know what that is in the comments when you figure it out.
Just popping in to say money doesn't solve problems. It facilitates solutions. You have to have a solution that solves the problem. Money is the facilitator of that solution. Be careful. When you think your problems can be solved by money, and anyone who has money has the capacity to solve your problems, the solutions that they would apply are not always the solutions that would solve your problem. Don't give power to money. Give power to power.
Sometimes in the pursuit of entrepreneurship, I get caught up in the idea of making money that I lose perception of value. I'm fairly new to my entrepreneurship journey, but I feel like I've been bashing my head against the wall for the past couple of months. There's this book by MJ DeMarco that's called The Millionaire Fastlane. Those of you who have read it understand what I'm about to talk about right here, but it is the thing that has stuck with me the most on my entire entrepreneurship journey is providing value to the market. I have lost sight of that, and that's the most frustrating thing, is trying to figure out how to give value without losing sight of any other mission within your business. Money follows value, and it's put me in this little balancing act of trying to figure out what I have as a value proposition to the market that I'm trying to provide for. And it's this constant back and forth, trying to mentally handle what aspects of my business I'm trying to put forth. And that leaves me split-minded. And that's one of the most frustrating things, is what direction do I want to take my business toward? What is working? What's not working? What is the obvious choice? And it's so difficult to see clarity on this path. And like I said, I've been bashing my head against the wall for however many months now. And the most frustrating thing is this account has 143,000 followers, and I get under 1,000 views per video. It's like swing, 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 miss, 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 swing, 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 miss, miss, miss. And it's frustrating. So this is more so a reminder, especially for myself and my younger followers. Focus on value. I need to stop being split-minded. Don't let things, run to the side, whatever. Focus on value and the money will follow. Build something good, build something with quality, and build something that changes people's lives that they are willing to pay money for.
Anyone who feels less than, I have to say that you are worthy. You are more than worthy of everything. And never, ever allow anyone to make you feel like that. Do not allow it in your life. Do not allow anyone to put you down solely because they have more stuff than you, more money than you. You're worthy of great treatment as well. You're a human being and you need respect.
So I don't know if anyone else has ever struggled with financial codependency, but that's when you will put the financial needs of other people before your own. So financial codependency is when you may abandon your own emotional and financial needs to take care of other people. So it crosses the lines from being generous. I see someone in need, I see someone who's going through it, and I'm going to go and help them, to where you're giving past what you may want to give them. You may be giving past what you actually have access to. You may be giving at times that you feel a little bit of resentment or bitterness around, and then you might shame yourself for feeling that bitterness and resentfulness. This is family, this is friends, this is someone who's in need, this is what Jesus tells me to do, and you'll continue to do it even when everything inside of you is saying no. And sometimes you're so used to taking care of other people that you can't even register the no. You have learned, whether or not you have been a parentified person or a parentified child who's grown up into an adult, if you have been someone who's learned that to be in relationships, you get a whole lot of praise for being the good girlfriend, the good wife, the good daughter, the good sister, the good friend, because you're always financially available as a wallet. The thing about the people as love addicts, the thing about people that we tend to attract if we are financially codependent, is that a lot of times, many of us, I say this in this week's podcast episode, I talk about how to stop financial codependency in the Black Girls Heal podcast. That was this week's podcast topic. And so one of the things that I said is, us as love addicts, we tend to attract the people, if this is an issue that we deal with, people who there's never enough money and there's never enough help that actually helps them stabilize. There is always another crisis. There's always chaos. They will sabotage themselves, and we are the ones who are there to help save them. And whether or not we're one of many people who just cycle in to enable this person in their financial distress, or whether or not we are the person. And as always, there's this one more time. This is it. You know, it's not my fault. I'm trying my best. I don't know what I would do without you. They're crying. They're grateful, whatever it may be, but there's never an end to it. Where some of us have been, and it might also be you may have been the recipient or watched what's happened when other people truly have been in need and someone has been generous and blessed them, and it has helped them stabilize and it has helped them recover. And to you, it's like, I don't want this to be the time that I say no. And it really was something that they really could have benefited from. And here's the thing. Money is so deeply intimate and personal, which is why I think it integrates so well into this discussion of how we show up in love and relationships and how we show up with ourselves. Because when we're looking at financial codependency, it's, do I continually put myself on the back burner? My own financial goals that I'm saving for, getting out of debt, saving for my degree, saving for an investment, saving for retirement. Do I consistently, when someone comes to me with their own sob story, even though I have my own needs and I have my own goals and I have my own stress, I will consider theirs and either split my needs with theirs or completely give to them no matter what the impact is on me. You know, when I talk about healing from love addiction and I talk about getting to this healing journey, I talk about often how the relationships are just a mirror. Whether or not you started working with me or the podcast or listening because I was talking about dating issues or being attracted to avoidant people or being avoidant yourself, everything is intertwined, everything intersects. And how I think and how I show up for myself connects to every part of my life. So if I struggle with boundaries in one area, if I struggle with attending to my needs, prioritizing my needs without shame or guilt, if I tend to lean into people pleasing, it may show up in other areas, and it may be that we have great boundaries with some people and some things, but there are some people and some relationships that it's just really hard for us to say no to. So the way we work through that is not just by making promises to ourselves, not saying I'm going to be better this time, not telling the other person, you know, this is it, this is the last time, and then getting mad at them when they come back and ask you. I'm the common denominator. I'm the one that needs to work on it. And so this is why it's so important for us to do the work. This is why it's so important for us to not only work on our codependency and where it shows up, but to prioritize not only our trauma work, but how we show up in relationships. So in this week's podcast episode, if financial codependency is something that you struggle with, and what I'm saying is resonating, you want to hear more, you can listen to this week's episode of the Black Girls Heal podcast. I believe it's episode 255. No, it was 254. It was 254. And if you have listened to that podcast episode and you're someone like that resonates to me, I'm going to take the 90-day challenge and see what comes up. And if there are any other triggers around abandonment, shame, and guilt, if it's causing stress in your relationships, if it's causing stress within yourselves, if it's causing stress in your identity, am I actually a good person? Is this safe? Is it safe for me to hold money and to have money? Is it safe for me to have needs in certain places? Then perhaps looking at our money rehab workshop. If you send me a DM, I can send you the link for it. It is actually archived right now. It's not always available. And then, of course, those of you who are in my Love Addiction Recovery School program, these are things that we talk about here. But for that next step to rehab your relationship with yourself, codependency, money, allowing access to abundance, the money rehab workshop would be a great next step. So just send me a message if you like that link. So that's it. I'm sending y'all love, and I am cheering you on.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.